Welcome to our world. Won't you come on in? Waiting just for you. Welcome to our world.
Welcome to Friday, everyone. And welcome to
Le Blend.
Okay, I hated that. It would have been
Le
fine
Blend.
if just one of us did it, but
Yeah.
since both of us did it,
We'll
I
cut one
hated
of our
it.
microphones.
Okay, anyway. All right, beginning with...
Le Blend.
No.
Okay. This week? This month?
Yes, exactly. This
In
month
history.
in history. Great.
This week in history.
In 1905, W.E.B. Du Bois,
Dubois.
is that how you say his name?
Dubois.
I've literally never
Yeah.
known.
Yeah.
And William Monroe Trotter formed the Niagara Movement. Do you know what this is?
No, I have no idea.
The group was meeting in response to Booker T. Washington, who pushed for accommodationist strategies to achieve civil rights for Black people in America. They opposed this approach, and they convened to develop a plan of action to overcome the regression Washington's philosophy was causing. Oh, because his philosophy supported Black Americans seeking political and social equality, but constrained them to embrace vocational skills and accept living peacefully but separate from white people. And they didn't like that. They were like, no, that's not how it should be.
You know, I think the issue is, though,
What?
let people live where they want to live. Don't
Mhm.
force them to live any place.
True.
Because I think segregation is bad, but forced integration is also bad.
Oh, that's a hot take.
Well, I'm just saying, let people live where they want to live. I think that's more natural. I think anytime you force a social construct on people, it leads to bad things. It leads to bad outcomes.
Sure.
So there you go.
In 1389, Geoffrey Chaucer is named chief clerk by Richard II. Do you know who Chaucer is?
I don't remember.
Oh, come
the name
on.
is so familiar.
I will give the listeners a moment to verify that they know who Chaucer is.
Just go ahead.
He wrote the Canterbury Tales.
Oh, yeah. That's why the name's familiar.
In 1798, William Wordsworth visits Tintern Abbey. That was such a fun sentence to say.
Wordsworth. I love that.
Why is this a big thing? Oh, because he wrote a poem with the same name, Tintern Abbey. I just really feel like this wasn't worthy of being in here. I don't care.
Is the
Does
guy...
that mean what?
Yeah. It's the character from
I don't know.
The Twilight Zone, Time Enough at Last. Was his last name Wordsworth?
I don't know.
I think it might have been, but maybe I'm...
In 1881, Billy the Kid is shot to death.
Why do you sound disappointed?
I think, well, first of all, I'm going to be
in
completely...
1945 or whatever, Hitler committed suicide.
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know everything that he did, but what I do know is that he's mentioned in a Billy Joel song. So I'm more thinking about that than I am thinking about the actual Billy. What did Billy the Kid do?
I mean, he was an outlaw. I don't know the details, but...
All the best ones are. All right. You didn't like him, I hear. 1986, Columbia Records drops country legend Johnny Cash. Why?
I don't know. Maybe he was getting pretty old and he just didn't sound very good anymore.
By the mid-1980s, fashions in country music had shifted dramatically away from his old school style, and the hits stopped coming.
Yeah.
That's sad.
That is sad.
Sad.
That is sad.
I don't like that at all.
Happens to everybody. Get past your prime and then you retire, then you die.
1951, The Catcher in the Rye is published. Do you know who wrote The Catcher in the Rye? You can redeem yourself here.
Oh, God. No, I know, and I know. I'm not going to think of it, even though it's like so obvious and all. I don't remember.
It's J.D. Salinger.
Well, yeah.
1945, Harry S. Truman records his first impressions of Joseph Stalin.
He did an impression of Joseph Stalin?
That was also my reaction, but no, he just wrote in his diary.
Oh, okay.
I will read. Ahem.
Can you read it in the voice of Joseph Stalin?
I looked up from the desk, and there stood Stalin in the doorway. I got to my feet and advanced to meet him. He put out his hand and smiled. I did the same. We shook. You know, I feel like this just verifies that in these kinds of time periods, people just didn't have enough to do. We're talking about the President of the United States taking the time to write these sentences.
Oh, okay.
What have I learned
thought you meant
from this?
to meet with Joseph Stalin.
No.
How did he find the time to do that?
What have I learned from,
Yeah.
That's nothing. Was he?
Yeah.
If he wanted to be a writer, he should have just been a writer instead.
Yeah.
That's not that. There's no value in that.
You
I
think
don't
they could
understand.
afford to pay someone to they could have embellished that a little bit, made it sound just a little bit better.
Horrendous. In 1986, video of Titanic wreckage is released. They're just gonna scooch on by that one. And in 1799, the Rosetta Stone is discovered. Wow. Do you know where it was discovered?
Was it in Egypt? Was it in Egypt?
Yes, it was during Napoleon Bonaparte's Egyptian campaign.
Okay. Nobody liked Joseph Stalin, you know.
Oh, okay.
The stuff I'm in
Is
this
from
Hitler
your Hitler book? Oh.
Yeah, like Hitler early in the war, they were basically like allies, right? In the early in the war, put it that way. I mean, as I guess you'd say, a good leader obviously is looking out for his country, but I don't think anyone liked him.
In 2017, Salvador Dali's body is exhumed for a paternity test. What?
Were they trying to get child support or something?
It was a woman claiming to be his only child. She claimed her mother had an affair. It was not. He did not father this person. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And officials who helped with the exhumation, is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Were surprised to see that the artist's famous mustache and hair were still intact.
No. I thought you were going to say the woman had the mustache and hair and looked just like him.
1925, the trial of the century draws national attention. Do you know what this was?
What was the year?
1925, the trial
was
of the
this
century.
the baby, the Lindbergh?
No.
What was that one?
No.
That was the trial of this. Was it Al Capone?
No.
Oh, darn it.
A jury in Dayton, Tennessee convicted John Thomas Scopes for teaching evolution in violation of Tennessee law.
You know the weird thing?
What?
So evolution, it's the theory of evolution, right? Like it's a theory technically. It's not, I don't know, technically, like at what point does a theory become, if you can't...
when it's been proven.
I know, but if it hasn't been proven, when does it basically become that accepted as almost as if it were proven?
No, well, you can't accept that it's proven without the evidence.
Well, that's what I mean.
In 1894, the first motor car race takes place in France. Not France, France.
Yes. Yeah.
That's enough history for this week.
Yes, it is. I'm getting a headache.
Moving on to...
Listener feedback. Yeah.
I just sang the song in my head.
Okay.
Welcome to listener feedback, everyone.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
First, these were two... Okay, well, let me do this one first. This was from someone... These were both from someone that I know. This was the Ethical Dilemmas episode, which I think I told you both of these already. But this is from the Ethical Dilemmas episode with the people on the boat and capsizing and who do you save and all that.
Yep.
This person is an engineer and responded that very mathematically so that there would be a weight sticker on the lifeboat. And so in reality, you could probably carry more people than just
WEIGHT. I thought you meant WAIT, like wait before you get on a lifeboat.
Yeah, I'm sure people would really pay attention to that in case of an emergency. But so his point was, even though it says you can only take 6, on a lot of vehicles like this, they give you a number, but also a weight, like on an elevator.
Right.
They'll give you the suggested number, but then also they'll say, but it could hold like 3,000 pounds or whatever.
Right.
So
if you have someone that's really heavy, it's not fair to take them on board and then lose 2 people.
So we should have been
a good chance.
We should have been taking all the skinniest people.
Well, yeah, and there's a good chance that the heavier people are more buoyant,
which means
in the ocean. I'm just saying, there's a very chance they'll bob around in the ocean,
which means
for a while.
That the woman who thought she was pregnant as I said, gone. Immediately
yeah, well,
gone.
no, that's not fair because that's 2 technically.
No.
No, you have to divide.
No.
You have to do the.
You don't have to
It's like when
divide
you're at the
anything.
store and you're buying something and you look at the
Nope.
cost per ounce. You have to break everything
You're
down
right.
to cost
So-
per weight per person.
So what we should have done is we should have considered her as 2 people.
That's what I'm saying.
When we did the episode, though,
Oh,
which we
we
didn't
never did.
do.
How did we not do
Well,
that?
I killed her.
Well, you know why?
so-
No. It's because she thought she may be pregnant.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. No, she was just trying to get sympathy.
That's
right
what
before-
I said.
you're
and
right.
You argued during the episode.
Well,
that
it was
I
a long
being
time ago.
rude.
It was a long time ago, and it was rude. But I'll be
But
rude
now
as
it's
well.
not because you're saying
No,
it.
I'm-
Okay, great.
I could just,
And-
I can imagine that where they're all saying, "Oh my God, the boat's going down." And she's like, I could be pregnant.
That's literally
I would
what
have probably
said.
said the same thing. They would say, like, you're a 60-plus-year-old guy. I'd be like,
I am considering going back and taking the part of the episode where I said exactly that.
okay,
And splicing
you
it
should.
in.
That was a long
because
time ago.
It
I
is
don't
insane that you
Yeah.
reacted poorly and
Mhm.
now all of a sudden it's your argument.
See?
you're not
You think-
trusted. You're not a trusted source.
No, it's not
You're
that.
fickle.
No, my views change on things over
No.
time.
Anyway,
I'm growing as a person.
so
Actually, I lost some
then
weight.
This was
I lost a few pounds.
great. So then this was from the what was this? The thought experiments one when we're talking about the ship of Theseus, which is if you take all the component
yeah.
parts of something over time and you replace them, at what point is it a different thing?
Right.
And again, this engineer
Mhm.
pointed out that every vehicle and thing or whatever has like a VIN, a vehicle identification number.
Right.
And so as long as that's the same, then it's the same.
Yeah,
and
but
I
if
was
you just
trying
if
to
you just
argue
move
that's
that
not
VIN,
how it works.
that's what I'm saying. If you just move the VIN tag, take it off, like let's say if you're talking about a car, if you take it
Yes.
and move it. Now, usually in a car though, they have multiple components that have that same, matching VIN on different components. But what if you move them all to a different car? I mean,
Yeah.
and does it really
gonna make
matter?
it.
That's the other thing. Do we really care? I don't know.
Nothing really
If it's
matters.
collectible, it matters.
Okay, moving on to our text messages. Someone texted and said, Samantha, I don't think Jim gets defensive only on matters of race. He gets defensive and questions these moments in history because they are, quote, attacking, for lack of a better word, one group of people, or because they seem biased in other ways. So you have
That-
a supporter.
Well, no, and I don't know. I don't know if he's saying that to support me. He's just
I know it's a
supporting
he.
at least.
Could be a she. You don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'm biased as far as that goes.
You're sexist.
But no, I everyone is shaped by their personal experiences,
Yes.
right? So, and I don't think it's fair to discard that. So if you see things that happen and then you know details about those things that happen and you see them later on reported differently, you start to question things and you start to question everything and you actually become biased maybe the other way because of it, right?
Overcompensating.
Like there's certain things. Well, no, because I think there are areas where art, I'll say, like movies, Broadway shows, things like that. I think they overcompensate the other way, right?
I think they can, sure.
So,
But I also think when people that have experienced things are telling you their experience of something that you've never experienced, you don't get to argue that their
but you're
experience
assuming
is incorrect.
no, you're assuming. I'm not arguing with that at all. But I'm saying if I'm talking about where you have experiences,
And I'm talking about where you haven't, which leads us into
but these
our
aren't those cases.
commentary,
We're not talking.
which leads us into
Go ahead.
our commentary on feminism. Because here's the thing.
Oh no,
One of us is a woman.
you have to guess.
I
which
won't
one.
say which. One of us is.
Is this a contest that we're going to
The
have?
other is not. And so let me read these comments.
At least not right now.
And then I can get on my little
You never know.
soapbox. There's
Maybe in a
still
week.
time. There's still time.
Yep.
This was a text message we received. It's a bit long, so bear with me.
Okay.
I understand both sides of what you guys were saying about the pink tax, but I also think you both missed the mark in some ways. When Samantha read the definition, it literally said companies put a higher price on items marketed toward women because women tend to pay more for similar products. To me, that is the beginning and end of the discussion. Companies place a higher price on items marketed toward women because women will still pay that price, whereas men would not do the same in their position. I assume the research includes this. And to be clear, we are talking about the same item, just marketed differently, meaning different colors or packaging or whatever, no other difference. But the interesting part is to analyze why women pay more for similar items. No, it's not because they are priced more highly. That's mixing up the cause and effect. So really, what we have here is that it's already been established that women are willing to pay more than men, and thus companies put a higher price on items marketed toward women. The conversation then is really about how some people think the companies are in the wrong for doing that and others don't. But again, the most interesting part is why, if a woman is at the store and can buy a blue pen or a pink pen that both write in blue, she will choose to pay more for the pink pen. Would Jim do the same in reverse? I think the answer is either no, he would buy the cheaper one and not care about the color, or he would buy the color he wants if he considers the price to be fair enough for him to buy it. If the blue pen were 5 times the price of the pink pen, he would definitely buy the pink pen. If it were 10% more, he may choose to buy the blue pen, in which case he is expressing that he views that price as fair for the color he finds more desirable. I don't think it would ever cross his mind that the pen company is sexist or the world is just evil. Speaking for myself, that is exactly how I operate. There are times when I am buying something and prefer a particular color. If it is a bit more expensive but still worth it to me for my preferred color, I buy that color. If my preferred color is too expensive compared to the standard one, I buy the standard one. In neither case do I feel like I've been done wrong by the company. They gave me the options. They did not force me to buy any particular color. I chose which one I thought made the most sense for me based on the given prices. As a final argument, if prices for items marketed toward bald guys were consistently more expensive, meaning standard items used by everyone, pens, backpacks, sunglasses, whatever, my only reaction would be to wonder why bald guys were so stupid that they pay more for no reason. I actually can't even imagine blaming anyone else for that, or feeling like there needs to be some movement against it. Just stop buying the more expensive items for no reason. Problem solved.
I'm going to let you respond because I know you're going to have an extremely strong opinion of this. I know you're going to have an extremely strong opinion of this.
You can respond first.
I don't, I think as listen to this whole thing, the first thing is, in general, I don't like grouping people. I don't like grouping people by race. I don't like grouping people by gender. So some people are willing to pay more for something, and for whatever reason, they're willing to pay more. Other people aren't. As long as we live in a capitalist economic system, I think that's great. You have different options. You have different choices. If it matters to you and you want to pay more, whether you're a guy or a woman, do it. If you're cheap or frugal, then don't. Then shop around until you can find the cheapest thing. That's the way I look at it. But go ahead.
Well, and you had said that during the episode that you would buy the cheapest thing. And then, I mean, this person also used an example about the pink and the blue pens and all that. And this is basically a dissertation that I just read on the pink tax. So that was a lot of thought clearly went into that, which is appreciated. But what's frustrating for me is on the surface, these are good points, right? Which you had mentioned some of this stuff when we talked about it, like just buy the cheaper thing and all of that. And I had said about I personally don't care about things like that. So given options, I'm going to buy the cheaper thing because I prioritize buying the cheaper thing and all of that. I think what's frustrating is because obviously this was only a small part of the conversation that we had in the 2-part episode about this. And my follow-up to the pink tax in general was that it takes more for a woman to be taken seriously in the world than it does for a man from like a presentation standpoint. And I think that this message, this feedback, which we're grateful for all feedback, I'm not arguing with this person or anything, but just stops. It doesn't acknowledge that fact at all. Because if you're assuming that everything this person argued is correct and they're, nailed everything and I have no argument and it's completely correct as it is. Okay, but then let's follow up to the actual main point of that, which is that women have to do more and be more and buy more products to be seen as level with men in a workplace, in like an office. Again, I'll use the same example. You guys can't see me right now. I don't have any makeup on. I'm wearing my glasses. My hair is like back in a bun. If I were to, what?
I'm just embarrassed to be here with you.
I know.
That's
If I worked in an office still and I went into an office like this,
right.
if you were my boss,
Mhm.
are you taking me seriously
I
like
can't.
this?
No. The thing is, I can't even. I don't know because I can't. I see you every day.
Okay.
So it's not. I know.
Whatever,
I know
fine.
your point.
Don't answer the question, and that's fine. But the answer is no.
Okay.
I would not be taken seriously
Right.
like this, okay?
Right.
And not to because this is the only comparison I can make right now.
Mhm.
You're wearing a t-shirt and jean shorts, and you're not wearing sneakers right now, but usually are. Whatever. Okay.
Mhm.
If you went into like D'Angelo Brothers, where you used to work, like
like
that,
this. I
you
know what your
wouldn't
point. I
feel
wouldn't go in like
comfortable.
this. I wouldn't
I
go in like
understand that.
this.
But you personally wouldn't feel comfortable.
Right.
But do you think you're going to walk in there and people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he came into this building like that?
I don't know. I get your point.
Okay. And so and even in just in
I
your
get your
response
point. Yeah.
is what's the most annoying about all of this. Because as this person, based on their, like the person that sent this message, based on their last example of a bald man, I'm assuming that this person is male, okay, for now. And so what I'll say is, as I've only talked to a man about this and gotten a response from a man about this,
Yeah.
the value in your opinion about how women feel or how women should feel in the world does not matter as much as mine.
I know. What I was going to say is, I don't think that a guy can relate to everything you just said.
They can't.
That's my point.
And
I'm not
because
saying
they
it's not true.
can't,
Right.
They don't understand things like that.
But I think that's different than the take right in that response, that comment, as far as the price. That's a whole different.
No,
it's kind of like a different thing. I get what you're saying though.
It is a whole thing. I'm not disagreeing that we're talking about two different things, but they're related, and that was my whole point, okay? Because look, I'm never going to be like the ideal picture of a feminine woman, like in the world, right? But especially in the world that we're in with social media influencers and things like that, you cannot be.
But I think the point is, okay, does a woman have to spend more time in the morning getting ready? Does she have to have more stuff in the medicine cabinet to do her makeup and all of that? I get that, and I'm not even arguing that. My point is, if you were buying the cheapest, maybe not the very cheapest option, because some of it, yeah, it won't work. It's garbage. But many times, the generic option or the lower priced option is like literally just as good or almost as good.
And I don't disagree.
You can't tell the difference.
And
so my only point is, in that case, yeah, you're still going to be spending an hour getting ready in the morning or whatever it takes. But you're going to be not spending as much as you would have to. Still more than a guy would.
Okay. And I obviously agree. And that's what I'm saying. That's the type of person that I am. I'm going to buy the product that works, not the product that's marketed towards me and all that. So I'm not saying like, no, women have to buy these products. That's not my point. But what frustrates me about this whole conversation in general is women are just stupid and should stop buying more expensive things and stop complaining that things are more expensive, because it's not that simple. It's really look, no, because this is what I'm trying to say. Okay. You're not gonna understand, and this person's not going to understand. And men right now that are listening to this and are like, you're just on a little thing right now and you need to chill out.
No,
it's because you don't understand. And
but
like,
I
you're
just
not
said
going
I understand that I don't understand that. Do you know what I mean?
Which is fine, but then you go back to your example of just buy the cheaper thing. Like,
no,
that makes more sense.
I'm saying part of the problem is, and like I said, I don't like looking at groups. I'd much rather look at individuals. But if you're going to look at a group, you can't deny the fact that a lot of women, when it comes to that stuff, are quote unquote stupid and do spend the money on way more expensive products than they really need to. They're not getting the benefit for what they're paying.
And I am going to give just one more example, because I could give a million examples and then we'll stop talking about this because I feel like I am the only one that cares about this, and that's totally fine. Well, obviously not, though, because this person wrote a dissertation. So let's take a girl that is in middle school and is not the thinnest, not the prettiest, and she gets made fun of for stuff. She goes to the store because she has, go ahead. You use your last tissue. Okay. She's getting made fun of because she doesn't have all of these products that the other girls in her class have. And because because she does have the cheap stuff and she gets made fun of for that. And so she goes to the store and she has the option to now, do I continue to buy the cheap stuff that I know works? Or do I buy the overpriced what?
But how do they know that she has the cheap stuff? How do they know she's using the cheap stuff?
Because in her backpack she brings a brush to school, and her brush is one of the cheaper. It's black, and it's a cheaper black one. It was the cheapest one there. And it works, and it's fine, but they make fun of her. And so now she goes to the store, and she gets the same one that they all have, which is the pink one that's overpriced and does the exact same thing.
Right. I mean,
my point here is there are layers to this that people just ignore when they're talking about, like, just buy the cheaper item.
No, in a perfect world, right? In a perfect world,
just be stronger. Just be stronger mentally.
That's what I was going to say.
Buy the cheaper product.
Well, in a perfect world, right? And I know this is not fifth grade for anyone. It's not for. And I know it's really hard for girls, but I'm saying for boys in fifth grade, it can be the same thing as with different things, right? But yeah, in a perfect world, she would be like, "You guys are idiots." Okay.
Yes.
Right. I know, and I don't.
At this point in my life, I would do that. If someone would make fun of me for whatever I'm using, I would be like, "It's cheaper, and I'm saving money, and it gets the job done. So goodbye."
Don't be so
like, what is?
I mean, certain things, like when it comes to that, I just never understand, though. Like, I cannot understand when you look at expensive watches that people buy. I'm like, why in the world would you spend just so you can say I have a Rolex? Who are you trying to impress?
Yes.
Like, seriously. Like, to me, and a lot of people do not agree with this, but to me, that is the dumbest thing when you think about, especially for most people, how much you had to work for that. Like, who were you trying to impress? It's just dumb. Like, well, I talked about this before, but when I spend money, it's because of something that does something. I'm getting an actual benefit, out of it. And a lot of people maybe wouldn't care about it or whatever. That's fine. But the idea of buying something strictly to impress other people is just so, I just feel like, man, grow up. And so many people never do. And they buy things, they buy expensive cars, they buy expensive jewelry, they buy expensive clothes. It's like, seriously? You think that's what matters in life?
Mm-hmm.
They are the people, in my mind, that need to see a therapist. Getting back to, no, seriously,
full circle.
Those people need to see a therapist because what are you compensating for? You know what I mean? But I don't, and maybe on the original episode, maybe you did explain it like this, but I think the way you explain it now, I think it comes across a lot better because it's not just a money thing and being the most economically smart decision.
It actually has very little to do with the economics from, your personal expenditure point of view.
It's like a societal thing.
Exactly. And that was my whole point. And so it's just, okay, let's just stop talking about it because this is, I told you all that this would be a whole thing.
Okay.
Anyway.
What's next?
Well, I'm just going to stop at the comments for today and we'll get to the rest next week. So that means we've entered.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
The grievances.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have a grievance?
I got one. Okay. And
you do?
I do.
And
it goes back to, it goes back to.
No.
It harkens back to early in the podcast.
Well, I have my grievance now, so thank you.
No. Why is it that criminals or less than good people become like famous and legendary? Like Billy the Kid, Bonnie and Clyde. These were horrendous people who no one should ever for a second look at them in any positive way, it's not like that, So I just don't. It just frustrates me.
Billy the Kid only killed 4 people.
Oh my God, I only killed 4. Jeez, so what a great
I thought
guy.
it was going to be a lot.
What a great guy.
No, that's a valid complaint. My complaint for today is I think, and this is more of a suggestion, is, which I said this to you already, when a baseball game, if it ends 0-0, I think both teams should just get a loss.
I love that idea. I love that idea so much.
They both failed.
Yep.
I don't think you should have to go to extra innings. And I guess you could really make the same argument for like soccer too, or any sport really, but obviously those ones are more likely to end with no score. And it's like you both just failed then. Nobody
both get
wins.
a loss. Yep.
That's all.
Yep.
That's
I
all have
agree
to
with
say
that.
for today.
That's such a good idea.
Well, another
I guess
episode
in the books.
I would like to, before this episode ends, formally, I don't want to say apologize because
Okay.
I feel like it's not that much. But if I was a little heated earlier in this episode.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where you were going with that.
I'm so calm right now.
No. Like I said, I think the way you explained it is
I think
good.
I just need to internalize and accept that some people will just never understand things like that and will never have the chance to experience what certain people or whatever have to experience. And so how could you understand? And so I'm not going to get angry because someone can't empathize with whatever. And I just need to accept that for my own happiness and my own peace. So that's what we're doing.
Therapy.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye. Can you cut the part out where I started crying when I said I have no friends?
No, we're going to leave that part
Okay.
in. Do you need a tissue?
Yes.
Here. Here's the box.
That's the only thing I need affirmation.
You need more tissues. You must cry a lot.
Do I have? Every day of my life. All right. Usually in the shower.